So, Brad, how are you doing?
I'm good. It's great to be here on this Friday morning.
Right on
This
a
is,
on a sunny. It's always sunny in
is
Sonoma.
it? Yeah. Don't look out my window.
That's the way it is. Now, Brad, I'm lucky because you live here in Sonoma Valley,
Yeah.
and so again, this is Tim with Sonoma Valley Visitors Bureau with Brad Day with Weekend Sherpa. Brad, you live here in Sonoma Valley, as I was saying. Tell me, what is Weekend Sherpa and how does it work and what's going on?
Yeah. Weekend Sherpa is we're a website and an email newsletter that recommends great ways to get outdoors in California on your weekend. And we have two editions. We have a Bay Area edition and a Los Angeles edition. And if you sign up for our email that comes out on Thursdays, you'll get some recommendations on where you can spend your time outdoors around LA or around the Bay Area, whether that's a hike or a bike ride or kayaking or camping, just kind of like this general outdoor lifestyle. We'll give you the recommendations and the inspiration and the information on how to make some of these adventures happen.
So it's like it's really actionable. It's not like straight up inspiration. It's also like literally this is where you drive to and this is where you go.
Exactly. And it's not just kind of like a bunch of random content. We think about what's good to do kind of seasonally, what's good to do right now. And we curate it. So it's like kind of thematic. So this latest edition of Weekend Sherpa for Northern California was about some new trails that you can go check out around the Bay Area. One of them happens to be in San Francisco, the Presidio of San Francisco. They've got a lot of stuff going on. They just put in some new trails over by Crissy Field, and we recommend how to make that adventure happen. But we also write a lot about Sonoma County and Sonoma Valley specifically. So yeah, I'm happy to talk with you about some of our favorite adventures to do in our neck of the woods.
I love it. And thank you. And so, hey, if people are watching this live, which I'm hoping you are, comment and we'll check it out. And people can ask questions to you. But they can also go to, your website, weekendsherpa.com, if I recall.
That's
And
great.
you can,
Nailed it.
you can sign up. But also you can peruse a lot of things like that. So maybe if they miss some stuff, I'm sure your website has that information. So,
Yes.
oh,
Yes.
that being said, so Brad, it's a not rainy day in Sonoma Valley, but we're currently under a kind of a shelter in place order, which means we kind of hang out at home and stuff, but we are allowed to go outside and hike. So,
Yes.
yeah, I want to ask you some questions. Like, what are some nice, easy hikes maybe in and around Sonoma that people
Yes.
can do?
Well, I mean, Sonoma Valley is so fortunate that you have, I used to say it had 3 state parks in Sonoma Valley, but it's actually 4 state parks because if you count the plaza and the mission right there, that's the 4th state park. And you also have
Okay.
Sugarloaf, you have Jack London State Park, and you have Annandale
Right.
State Park. So you have a variety of outdoor experiences. And one of my favorite go-tos being local to the town of Sonoma is actually going to a regional park. You also have a whole bunch of regional parks in Sonoma Valley, and the Overlook Trail is right behind Sonoma Plaza. So the beautiful historic Sonoma Plaza is a great place to picnic. And if you want to go on a hike, that's about maybe a mile and a half, you can go up the Overlook Trail, which gives you a really nice panorama of the town of Sonoma and kind of the southern part of Sonoma Valley. And that's a lot of people can take on that hike. It's not too strenuous. It's a little bit of a hill climb, plenty of benches actually along the way, and ample space for social distancing
Okay.
and wearing a mask and kind of having all those kinds of things.
But also, like, this trail, I sometimes will do this during my lunch break because it's right by my office.
Yeah.
You just go right up First Street West and you can go up, and the cemetery's on your right, the trailhead's right there. By the
Yes.
way, historic cemetery. Some people start in the cemetery and hike through it.
I love that cemetery, actually. It's a really beautiful cemetery.
It is. It's kind of funny to say, like, people are like, what should we do here? I'm like, well, don't miss the cemetery. It's quite nice. But it is quite nice. But what's nice about that trail, in addition to the benches, like you said, there's cutbacks and the views. The Sonoma Ecology Center, I think, has left up there a trail notebook that people can write in, whether it's like a special wish. I've seen prayers in there. I've seen reflections. And it's in a little waterproof case at the top.
Yes.
And it's just like a nice, and they often, I think, will put that on their website, just trail notes.
Yes.
It's a beautiful spot up there.
it could be a good place to propose too, and you could write that in the trail notes, and that would be awesome.
Oh,
Just a little
so
tip.
inside tip from Brad, if you're listening, ladies, gentlemen, if you're going to propose to somebody, the Overlook Trail. I like that, Brad. You call
Yes, and bring a bottle of Sonoma Valley wine too.
I got some for you. So
Okay. We're
where
doing this in the afternoon, right? We're on the East Coast, right?
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So tell me, what about some places that are maybe if you want a little more of an adventure, where else would you recommend in and around Sonoma Valley?
Yeah, so Sugarloaf Ridge State Park is absolutely beautiful. It's in the Mayacamas Mountains, which is you're still in Sonoma Valley, but it's the mountain range that divides Sonoma Valley and Napa Valley, and it kind of straddles the county line actually. And there's a bunch of trails. The most popular trail goes up to the top of Bald Mountain, which is nearly at 3,000 feet. So you're almost at 3,000 feet in wine country, and you can see the Golden Gate Bridge from up there. You can, on a clear day, you can see the Sierra Nevada from up there as well. So you get just a really beautiful vantage, and you can look down into the town of Kenwood in Sonoma Valley on your west. And if you look to the east, you can look down into the town of St. Helena. So it's awesome. It's a bit more of a strenuous hike, but the payoff, I mean, the view from the top is absolutely phenomenal. Now, that state park also has a campground. It has a seasonal waterfall that you can check out too. That's only about a half a mile to get to the waterfall. So that's really popular, especially in the wintertime. And it's right by
when there's water in California.
God, we need some of that. So yeah, there's a variety of things. There's also an observatory there too. The Robert Ferguson Observatory, and they have some really like high grade professional telescopes. They have star parties occasionally. I'm not sure during the time of COVID if that is going on, but you can still go up there. You know, I think maybe they open it up for the general public occasionally still, but Sugarloaf Ridge is just a gem of a state park, and you can really have some adventures up there.
And it's probably pretty good. I've been up there at night. You're pretty far away from the light pollution of the greater Southern Bay Area part.
Yeah,
I know some people bring their binoculars or their telescopes, and they can actually see pretty good stars just from the meadow up there, right?
Yeah.
Where the campground is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really cool. And actually, I did. And it's kind of funny. We actually wrote about this on Weekend Sherpa. Is to get up to the top of Bald Mountain for sunset. It's a. I mean, any time of day is beautiful. You have a great view, but at sunset, it's just next level.
Okay.
But you do have to bring a headlamp or a flashlight because you still have. I think it might be like a 2.5 mile walk back down the trail. But it's a fire road, so it's not like. It's kind of like too creepy.
It's not a tiny single track trail. It's like it's wide enough that you can find your way.
Yeah, but you'll see some deer eyes and things like that. It's just kind of like what, but it's a fun, very accessible adventure. And we actually wrote about doing that. Just be prepared with a flashlight and go up and down the same trail so you know kind of what you've covered.
Don't go down another trail and get lost and you're in that.
Don't do that. Didn't hear from you.
You'll be in Napa, and that'll be fun, but that'll be a long hike. So you mentioned, I think, the other state parks. You got Jack London State Park.
Yeah.
A lot of people associate that. Obviously, it's where Jack London had his house and his ranch and things like that.
Yeah.
But there's actually some great trails there, right?
Oh, man.
And a place to kind of explore. I should have looked up the names of the trails. I know I've got the maps here, but I just want people to know it's not just about literature. If you're worried about it being like your sophomore year of high school or something like that, there's some good places to hike to up there in Jack London.
Yeah, no, Jack London, I mean, where he settled down in Sonoma Valley, just outside the town of Glen Ellen, is really a beautiful place that I don't think has changed a hell of a lot, probably since he settled there in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And the trails, like you mentioned.
Are you saying Kenwood and Glen Ellen haven't changed much in like 100 years? Because you're right.
A few more restaurants. They do have that old brick saloon, which seems like it's been there for a long time.
Yeah, totally. And that guy's been there the whole time to get in the bar. So yeah, he was there when Jack was there.
Yeah. And they do have trails, and they also have, and this is kind of a rarity in a California state park, they have dog-friendly trails. Okay. So if you got your four-legged friend and you want to go on a hike, Jack London is a good spot to do that. You can walk out to the old Wolf House ruins, and the Wolf House was this like grand, big house that he was going to build or was building until it burned down. Unfortunately, they don't exactly know what happened. But you can go to his ruin, the ruins of the Wolf House, which was his kind of dream house. It had like 9 chimneys, and it's crazy. It was like, it cost $80,000 to build back in like 1900. So I don't know what that translates to now, but it's crazy. And it's about a half a mile hike back to it, and it's beautiful. You actually walk by the Jack London gravesite where he's buried along with his wife. And it's a nice walk, but you can also go up to a lake where he used to have, I think, like a little, he dammed a creek there and made this kind of nice lake. And you can walk up to that, go by the vineyards, and something called the Pig Palace, where he kind of like came up with this idea for having pigs. And I don't exactly know, but it's interesting. You go to the Pig Palace.
Yeah, no. So my understanding, like, so not only do we have like Jack London here, but you got Luther Burbank on the other side of the hill, who was a famous agronomist in Santa Rosa, and they were interested in like new ways of doing agriculture and things like that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, the Pig Palace is some sort of way to like promote better pigs, right? Like maybe more comfortable. And obviously maybe happier,
Sure.
Great life in one bad day if you're raising, artisan pork. Yeah, it's kind of weird to see that stuff, because you think Jack London, you think, okay, Call of the Wild, he was just a writer.
Yeah.
It's incredibly varied life, right? So
yeah, he was really kind of like the adventurer of his time, and he died when he was like 40.
Yeah, he died pretty young. So definitely a lesson: rough living, hike, get some exercise.
And bike. You can actually bike there too.
Moderation, good. And I like that, the dog friendly, because a lot of people do come to Sonoma Valley with their dogs.
Yes.
And looking for things to do. So
yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, that's a great park. It also is a mountain bike park. Some of those fire roads you can go mountain biking on.
Okay.
It's pretty up, I would say. There's a lot of elevation gain on a lot of those trails in Jack London, but it's beautiful, and there's some great trails that you can go check out. So
very cool.
Yeah, a variety of things to do at Jack London for sure.
By the way, we've got on Facebook, Karen Lee Todd is saying that she remembers going to the cemetery in Sonoma, and she thought it was pretty cool. So it's if you're traveling to see old cemeteries, definitely put us on the list. You mentioned that the Sonoma Mission is a California state park as well, so it's the last mission in the chain of missions. So there's a fair amount of California history here in our dinky little town.
It really is. It's kind of surprising how much California history is here. I mean, it's so well known for the wine, and of course we're talking about the outdoors, but the historical factor of Sonoma in particular is pretty incredible.
It's we're blessed. We're
blessed. Hashtag blessed.
So I know we talked about state parks. We've also got a regional park in Sonoma Valley, and just to explain to people, regional parks are county parks that run through the county park system.
Yeah.
For people who are local, of course, they can buy a regional park pass, which we're currently selling here at the Sonoma Visitors Center. So email info@sonomavalley.com to pick yours up. But the Sonoma Valley Regional Park is a nice, flat, easy hike, right? Because it's in the lower part of the valley. Have you a trail over there?
Yeah. They've got a few great, amazing trails. Like you said, it's right in the heart of Sonoma Valley. I really like that park because it intersects Arnold Drive, which is kind of going up the west side of Sonoma Valley, and Highway 12 kind of on the east side. And you have this beautiful park, woodlands, oaks, all kinds of stuff. And there is a nice paved trail. I think it's just over a mile that connects one side of the park to the other. And it's ADA accessible. It's dog friendly.
Super important. I like the ADA accessibility because, again, a lot of people think hiking is like poles and carabiners and other things I don't know how to pronounce, but it's really like just getting out there. And so ADA allows, if you have limited mobility, to get out there, right?
Absolutely. And in the springtime, you get some of the best wildflowers in the county.
Well, that's funny you mentioned that. Someone named Holly just asked us where the best wildflowers in Sonoma Valley are some good hikes. So help her out. Let her know where that was her Facebook question. Where are some good places to see wildflowers?
Well, right there in Sonoma Valley Regional Park, and across the way, there's Bouverie Preserve, Wildflower Preserve, has guided hikes to see some wildflowers. Sugarloaf Ridge is also another good spot, especially when you get to some of those higher elevations that are a little bit more exposed. You get amazing California poppies through there. Even the Overlook Trail gets some like iris and buttercups and poppies. It's just in the springtime, and if we get some more rain, let's hope some rain, you're going to get amazing wildflowers around here.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think on Weekend Sherpa, you guys probably have a list of good places for wildflowers, or if not, start that list. But I love that. You're like a walking naturalist book, Brad, or in this case, a zooming one, I guess.
Well, don't show me like a picture of a tree and ask me to identify it. I'm not super.
Just be like, that's clearly a tree, Tim.
That's clearly
a tree. What about so favorite dog-friendly hike? Do you have a dog, Brad?
I do. My dog, it's kind of funny because we have a dog that's not really a hiking dog, which
like
people
one of
are like,
big lazy dogs? What is it?
It's a bulldog.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of like a sitting dog.
It's a sitting dog.
Yeah.
And you get asked like, but you're always outdoors. Don't you want like a dog that you can go hiking with? And of course that would be great, but there's a lot of parks, at least in the Bay Area, that aren't super dog friendly. So we're having to leave because we're checking out all variety of stuff from national parks, regional parks, and everybody's got their own rules on dogs. So we end up having to leave a dog at home a lot. And he's totally cool with being left. We're going on a walk. So
what you actually have is a teenager dog. That's like, fine, I'll just stay here. That's cool, man. And
don't worry. Yeah. So dog friendly, I would say Sonoma Valley Regional Park is a great place to take your dog. There's actually a little reservoir that goes around that you can do a hike around. And actually, I think it butts up to the Sonoma Valley or the Sonoma Developmental Center.
Right, which is a large former place for developmentally disabled people. It was kept there. It's been de-used or whatever. It's now state property.
Yeah.
There's a huge amount of land back there that will eventually become something.
Yes.
Something. But yeah, there's a lot of trails back there.
There are, and the grounds are open for hiking, and so that kind of butts up to the Sonoma Valley Regional Park, and it's a great place to go walking with your dog. So that is something I would definitely recommend. Yeah. So there are some great places to bring the dog for sure.
Let me ask you this. What if I want, like, I'm hardcore? Like, look, I got a floppy hat, right?
Yeah.
A floppy hat. Like, I'm ready to hike, dude. I'm ready, and I got
bring it.
Yeah, I got binoculars, and I want to do it.
You want to do it?
Where's like the super macho Mas Grande hike in and around Sonoma Valley? I got to try.
Well, I think if you're hardcore and you're into it, you also probably want to escape some of the crowds, and you want to be able to have the trails and the outdoors to yourself and get to a tremendous view. Right. I think one of the best places to do that is going to hike to the Grandmother Tree. The Grandmother Tree, not that many people know about, but it's in Hood Mountain Regional Park, which is at the northern end of Sonoma Valley. And the Grandmother Tree is the oldest and largest coast live oak in Sonoma County.
Really?
Yeah, and it's really located on this spectacular ridge that kind of looks out to southern Santa Rosa and the northern part of Sonoma Valley. It's really beautiful, and hardly anybody goes to see the Grandmother Tree. It's a 3.5 mile hike or 3 mile hike each way. Okay. It's a little bit strenuous towards the end as far as kind of elevation gain, but you get to hang out at this really amazing view. Unfortunately, this is the caveat, the Grandmother Tree fell down at the end of 2019. Wait.
You're telling us to go hike to see a tree that fell down?
Still there, but it did fall down, unfortunately.
Grandma fell over, but she's still there. Is it still alive? Like, can it, because sometimes those trees will grow like that.
That's a good question. I don't know if they're like the root system is still there and maybe something else will sprout up, but yeah, unfortunately, because like there was a lot of wind and erosion and all kinds of natural events. Unfortunately, she did fall over, but
kind of circle of life thing. Yeah.
The view is still there.
Okay, right? No, I like that. Thank you. Sorry. So that's at Hood Mountain Regional Park, which a lot of people don't even know that park exists. It is kind of you go up behind St. Francis Winery, right? And you just go up this road and you're like, am I on the right road? And you keep up, and then all of a sudden there's the parking lot.
Yeah.
So that's a great one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Actually, and it's the grandmother tree might be in, and this is kind of inside baseball, it might be in Sugarloaf Ridge State Park, because both of those kind of like are next. You start in Hood Mountain, but then you hike into Sugarloaf Ridge. So
I think you might be right, but I don't. Here's a map that you can't really see, but
there you go.
there's like, they're all conjoined, and there's like private land and public land and stuff like that.
Yes.
This is a great map. I bet you can get these at the visitor center in Sonoma. Oh,
You can, which is right on the plaza in town.
Brad, you're hired. Let's talk away from hiking. Maybe do you know any good biking? Some people like to get on bicycles and get around. Are there good spots for that around Sonoma Valley?
Well, I mean, if one of the best things to do in the town of Sonoma, in my opinion, is to ride your bike from winery to winery. It's flat, it's beautiful, it's a bike friendly community, and you can really make a nice loop kind of around some of these back roads in the town of Sonoma. A lot of the wineries are only doing takeout, where you can only get kind of wine to go, so you can't really hang out on the grounds.
Right.
Currently. Hopefully that's not going to be for too much longer. But it's still a great idea. There's a bike path that used to be an old railroad line that is about 2 miles. It's also a multi-use path. It's walkers, bicyclists, but no cars. And that's I think a great part of the town of Sonoma. It's kind of on the northern side, and you can go up Lovell Valley and go over to Bartholomew Park Winery. And I think their grounds are still open because it's actually a park, and you can kind of like bike up into that, and then there's like a little secret door that takes you to Old Winery Road and the Buena Vista Winery, which is the oldest winery in California.
Yeah, the first time I did that, I was with Hunt Bailey with Sonoma Adventures on a bike tour.
Yeah.
And he opened this little gate. I'm like, Hunt, are we gonna get shot or something? Like, no, everyone knows about this. I'm like, well, clearly not everyone, but yeah, it's funny how you connect between these two properties and go in this back way.
It's the secret gate, man, and it's fun. And then you're up at Buena Vista, which is a great winery. And then you have Gunlock Bunchu, and so there's like this whole 7-8 mile circuit that you can do on bicycle and just make it a nice leisurely wine country.
Bring a picnic or something like that.
Yeah, you got to figure it out. You have to be a little bit more creative and flexible, I would say, just because of what's happening. But it's still a great way to get out and explore the town of Sonoma.
I mean, hopefully we'll be back to some semblance of normalcy eventually, so people can, go pick up picnic stuff at like Sonoma Market or Broadway Market or Whole Foods. Yeah. Get your thing together, get on the bike, and get some bottles of wine or something like that.
And what you should bring, and something I bring on my hikes and maybe on your bike rides, is this little guy.
What is this? Looks like something an old man like me will use to sleep on when your back hurts. So what is that?
It's just for sitting, really. It's just, it folds up like this. If you're familiar with Thermarest, you go camping and you put it on your back when you're sleeping. It's just a really small version of that. And it's great for wintertime because a lot of times benches are wet or whatever, and it just makes for a more comfortable sit.
I hold on. We just changed Talking Gear with Brad Day. So I love that you've got this like portable seat thing.
Yes.
What else should people bring when they're hiking around Sonoma Valley or picnicking? Like what other things, like what's in your pack?
So I love to bring that. Water bottle is always good.
And the stickers, by the way, you got to have stickers, right?
Got to have good stickers. Yeah. We have a Weekend Sherpa sticker that really makes the water bottle look pretty awesome.
It makes the water taste better. Do they get that on the website or like?
You have to write to us directly to request the sticker.
I love that. Okay, that's very cool.
And you want a map. Map is always a good thing to have. And then, of course, in these times, you want to have a mask and get masked up and bring some snacks.
Okay. What's your go-to snack in your bag?
Honestly, it's kind of cheesy and cliche, but I love trail mix.
So the Gort, like raisins, peanuts, and stuff like that.
And M&Ms, you got to have a little chocolate in there too.
I love it. I love it.
But maybe a bottle of wine. Especially. Some Sonoma Valley wine is great for mellow hikes.
Especially if evidently you're going to be proposing to people on the top of the mountain.
If you need some more ideas on where to propose, just ask me. I got all kinds of.
I love this idea. Well, Brad, this is perfect. And so thanks for spending time with us. Is there anything else you want people to know about when it comes to hiking and biking around Sonoma Valley? Anything else I forgot to ask you or you want to mention?
Um, One of the parks that we didn't talk about is at the very northern part of Sonoma Valley, called Annandale State Park.
Okay.
Yeah, Annandale is a great park for hiking. It's a great park for mountain biking. If you love to get out on some knobby tires, some of the fire roads and some of the more single track stuff is really good intermediate mountain biking up there.
Is it possible, because I know it basically lies between the city of Santa Rosa and Sonoma Valley.
Mm-hmm.
And back in the day, there was an actual plan to punch Highway 12 through, right, Spring Lake and Annandale, and thankfully they stopped that because
Mhm.
now you have this beautiful
Yeah.
place to explore. Is it possible though to hike from Sonoma Valley over into Santa Rosa and back and forth, or do you kind of have to go around, or how does that work?
Yeah, so there is a trailhead at the southern end of Annandale called Lawndale. Lawndale is just one of the roads off of Highway 12, and there's a little parking lot, and you can hike or bike from there all the way through to Spring Lake.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that would be an epic. You don't want to come back because I think that would be
Catch the bus. Go go back and catch the bus back around or something like that. Or
yeah, no, that would be a really long one. But yeah, I think just the bottom line is there's so many different outdoorsy experiences from hiking to bike riding to just picnicking to, visiting some of these beautiful wineries, even if it's for a to-go order, around Sonoma Valley. And in the wintertime, I think it's really special because everything is a little bit more green. You get some of these seasonal waterfalls, the seasonal creeks are going, there's not as many people. You can kind of have these adventures to yourself, which is really special.
So someone mentioned that there is a park that is very small. It's called Ernie Smith Park. It's in the regional park system.
The
There's
dog
a
park.
trail that I think goes for like a block and a half or something like that. Have you been on this trail and you know about it?
I think Ernie Smith, if I'm not mistaken, is a dog park, but it is a part of the Sonoma Valley Regional Park. Yeah, and there's a couple of great hiking trails aside from the paved ADA accessible trail in that park that you can check. Yeah,
I do love it because it also is another great regional park that runs kind of through the springs a little bit. It's not completely finished, but there are these little trails that pop up around the valley that will someday hopefully be connected to a bigger trail system.
Yes.
There's even talk about, they have the Bay Area Loop Trail or the Ridge Trail. There's talk about connecting us to a West County trail that will go all the way up along the coast.
That would be so cool.
So it's eventually, right? Someday.
One of these days. Yeah, I think that's really cool.
When our great grandkids are like doing another Zoom or however they do neural networks then or whatever, they'll be
It'll
like,
be holograms. It'll be like space travel holograms.
Exactly. So easy. Hey, Brad, if people want more information about Weekend Sherpa, how do they get it? Where do they go?
You go to our website, weekendsherpa.com. You can cruise around, see some of the adventures we've recently written about. And if you like it, I encourage you to sign up for our weekly email where we'll send you only good stuff about where to get outdoors in California.
Nothing sad. No poison oak. No, there's a mountain lion. It's all happiness, right?
It's all happy. We're all happy talking.
Flowers and stuff. Great. All right. So it's weekendsherpa.com. You can sign up for the emails. That's free. The stickers, are the stickers free if they email you, or do they have to pay for those?
You do not have to pay currently unless if you want a sticker for your water bottle, just email us at info@weekendsherpa.com. We'll hook you up.
That's a limited edition. You heard it here first. I think it's made Brad run out of money because he's going to be printing stickers now. Brad, thank you so much. We'll put this up, sonomavalley.com. We have all the information, stuff like that. And we really look forward to seeing everyone in Sonoma Valley when we can. And in the meantime, they should get their boots and go hiking. So, Brad, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. Good to see you.
All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.